No, I don't think you understand. I know you read the title. I still don't think you understand. Look at this gameplay that is being shown to you right now on the screen. This is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Treehouse footage that we just got from Nintendo's Treehouse. I have been editing and recording and watching this in the background all day long, and I am frothing at the mouth at Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Look at this! This is like a Halo game. This is like top of the market PlayStation, Xbox stuff. Nintendo Switch 2 is a powerhouse, man. I mean, it is just a powerhouse. This is what our Nintendo developers can do now. This is what we can expect this generation. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. So before I gush a little bit more about how amazing this looks and how these guys are running away right now, and it looks so good, and they're getting in this giant mech, let me tell you a little bit of a story while you enjoy this gameplay in the background that you probably didn't see because most people didn't make time for the Treehouse events. So back in 2021, I had realized I'd never played a Metroid game before. I was new to a lot of Nintendo franchises in the Nintendo Switch era, and I believe at the time we had SNES on the Nintendo Switch Online service for free to the $20 subscribers. There wasn't an expansion pass yet, I don't believe, and so I remember my friend, who is a big Metroid fan, had gotten me into Super Metroid and was like, you need to try this out before Metroid Dread comes out, because it was in 2021, that June E3 presentation in which they said, boom, Metroid 5, and I was like, whoa, this game looks amazing. So at the time, I decided to play Metroid Dread. I decided maybe to try to get into the Metroid Prime trilogy because I had a Wii U, and obviously at the time, I could still get on the eShop and buy any Wii or Wii U games on the Virtual Console. And so I was considering Prime Trilogy, but I never ended up doing it for whatever reason. I never ended up spending the money for it. So I spent quite a bit of time on Super Metroid and enjoyed that quite a bit. I really did enjoy that. It was a great game, and I struggled with the wall jump. I just struggled with the older mechanics, the older games, the older feel of the games, because as you know from most of my videos, if you've seen, that Nintendo feel is really big to me. It's big to a lot of people, and they have done a phenomenal job over the years of just making their games feel better than ever. I played a little bit of Metroid Fusion, I played a little bit of the other 2D Metroid games, a little bit of the NES, and then totally decided to skip that one, but Metroid has never been a big thing for me until Metroid Dread dropped, so I was really excited to try this series out and get into it. So Metroid Dread launches, right? And I am so excited. I go to the store, I buy this sucker, and I bring it home, and I put it in, and it is beautiful because it launched on the exact same day as the Nintendo Switch OLED, and I had decided, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to splurge. I'm going to go and I'm going to get that OLED, and eventually I'll sell my original Switch and make that money back, and we'll just be fine and dandy. So I bought an OLED system, and I bought Metroid Dread, and it was such a beautiful time to play this game on that beautiful screen. I remember every single person on the planet was talking about how, the blacks are so black on the screen. And everyone was just talking about how those pixels and how the OLED screen was a lot better because it turns off the pixels where the dark spots are, so it's not actually showing you a black light, it's just showing you nothing, and it makes it look darker. And that was such a funny thing at the time because it felt like everyone was saying it over and over again, and it was just great. But Metroid Dread, the Emmys, I loved that game, and this was just another example of Metroid and Nintendo and just everything feeling really, really good. Samus was so silky smooth. She felt perfect to control. Like, I have almost never played a better 2D game in which you could feel every little bit of your movement, and it just felt like no matter what you were doing, whether you were jumping or sliding or dashing with your Aeon abilities, it just felt beautiful. So at the time, around the time I got Metroid Dread, it was within the month, I believe, I started to have some weird health issues, and I couldn't quite explain what it was, right? My throat was just feeling really bad, but it wasn't like a regular sickness. It was almost like a burning, but it wasn't. I felt like something was stuck in my throat at all times, and it really was bad. And it really scared me, because I'm the type of person that's like, oh my gosh, if something's going wrong, like if something's out of the ordinary, I fall really easily into anxiety. And so whenever that would happen, I would just think to myself, okay, I don't know what's going on, but I just can control what I need to control, and that is myself right now. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do my best to take my mind off of it. I'm going to do other things, and I would play Metroid Dread, and I 100%ed that game, and it was one of my favorite games on the Nintendo Switch, and it helped me get through a lot of those tough times. I eventually went to the doctor within another month or two, and basically, they prescribed me some medicine to help me with it because it turned out to be a extreme case of heartburn in which I would just get heartburn, and it just made it feel not like a burning, like I said burning earlier, but it wasn't even like a burning. It just felt like there was something stuck in my throat. And so I took medicine for that, and that really helped. But throughout the fear, throughout the anxiety, like funnily enough, because the Emmys in Metroid Dread are so stressful, that game helped calm me down, and it helped me become better in who I am today and just help me not stress as much over these things. And so I am so grateful to that, and I am so excited for the next 2D Metroid because of that. But because of Dread and my fun experiences with it and just my connection with it because of how it got me through those tough times, I couldn't have been more excited to see Metroid Prime Remastered, I believe another couple of years later in 2023, come out and just look gorgeous. One of the best looking games on the Nintendo Switch. And people were saying, oh, this is the engine that Metroid Prime 4 is going to be in, and now Retro Studios is just making it better than ever, and they're in their bag, and I couldn't have been happier to play that game. So I bought it day one. It was only like $50, I believe, and it was such a steal. I loved Metroid Prime. I played it all the way to the end. It was a beautiful game, and I feel like I'm probably more of a 2D Metroid fan, but I really did get into Prime, and it was a great time. So I was excited then for Prime 4, and maybe even Prime 2 and 3, which people were talking about a potential remaster for those games as well, but those games never ended up coming. So now, Metroid Prime 4. I wasn't like super duper excited for it. I mean, obviously I am excited, but not like on the level I would be for a Luigi's Mansion 4 or a brand new 3D Mario game or a lot of other things that would really just hit my heart a lot closer to home. But then that Direct happened, and the Switch 2 is a powerhouse, and this game looked phenomenal, and they said either you can play in 4K 60 FPS or 1080p 120 FPS, both modes with HDR. And bro, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I can't even believe that I am watching a Nintendo game be this good. It's just surreal to me. So to see this gameplay, to watch Metroid Prime 4 Beyond be this beautiful, and then for this story, right? For me to be so connected to Metroid Dread, to have enjoyed Prime, to not have been as super excited for Prime 4, like yes, excited, but not over the moon, then to see this, I'm hooked. I am absolutely hooked to my very core. This game is the best looking Nintendo game of all time, and I am not ashamed or afraid to go out on that limb. I don't care what else you could possibly have to say. From every angle, art style, actual graphical fidelity, everything, expression, anything and everything you could ever imagine, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond has it in spades. And sure, people have complained a little bit about how, oh, you know, there isn't a hook yet, right? It's not any different. But the psychic abilities are pretty dang cool. I mean, you have to think about how many different uses they're going to have for it. And just this game looking this good and being so stylized as it has been in the past with that Metroid Dread style in a 3D environment, for Samus to just be this awesome is amazing. And I can't even overstate how much this game actively calls me. It has been a long time since I wanted a game in my hands this badly. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is not the game I ever would have expected to have hooked me this badly. And yes, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, those editions are on the same level, by the way. Both of them have their hooks in me. I need it. I need it in my hands. I'm so unfathomably excited for how good this game looks, how good it's going to feel, and just amazing how they have Samus's abilities from the very start. Like, you don't lose your crap. You just continue to get better and better. You don't go through that rigmarole of losing everything. You literally just get to keep it and then keep getting more powerful. And the thing is that a lot of times I see people saying that gameplay is not better than graphical fidelity, and that has always been shocking to me. Like, gameplay for me will always come first. I am a Nintendo fan, so obviously that makes sense, right? The Switch has not had the best graphics. It has had some good graphics. The art style has more than made up for that lack in raw power, but still, that thing, people were calling it a potato, and I was defending the heck out of it, and now I understand. Now I get why it connects with people so much to have great graphics. It's not necessarily about the graphics themselves, it's about the games that look this good. The second these graphics started being tailored to me, the second these graphics started being from childhood series I loved and games that I have just gotten into and Nintendo games that I have always heard about, was the second I started to understand. If this game doesn't do well, I don't know what I will do or what the Metroid community will do, because Metroid Prime 4 can't be any better than this. It can't get any better. And I'm not so sure that there will ever be another time in which Metroid fans could ever clamor for us to buy Metroid games more than now. For Nintendo to advertise this game better than this right now is, I don't know if it's possible. I truly don't know if it's possible. And I do think that there will be a little bit of a stink around the sales of this console and the games. It probably will sell really well at the gate and then slow down a little bit, and people will say, don't buy it, boycott, all that stuff because of the $80 Mario Kart. But Metroid Prime 4 does not deserve that. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond deserves to be bought, and I really hope that people don't boycott the system because of $80 games. I hope you boycott those individual games if that's your goal, because $450 for this absolute powerhouse of a system is totally and completely reasonable. For you to be able to play it anywhere, anytime you want with all these amazing new features, it's totally worth $450, and with the bundle, it's even better. So I get it if you don't want to buy Mario Kart or $80 games, but please do not boycott Metroid Prime 4. Go buy this game as soon as you can. This looks leaps and bounds better than Metroid Prime Remaster, by the way, and a lot of people are saying that it was made with the same engine, and maybe that's true, and maybe we'll get a Prime update for the remastered game, and we'll have a Switch 2 edition of that game as well, and maybe Prime 2 and 3 are also going to be on the Switch 2, because at this point, who knows, all these rumors could be true. After the Donkey Kong game, all of these old rumors could come back to the surface and just be totally and completely true. But I'm pretty sure you don't necessarily need to play the other games to get into this. Just know the basic premise of Samus and Metroid, and you will be totally and completely fine. So thank you for listening to my rant and my story time with Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I literally am so excited, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm speechless. Normally I have a ton of things I need to say, but this is all I've got. I mean, I've said everything I want to say because I just want the game right now. And I don't know when they're going to launch it. That's another thing about this game. They have not told us a launch date yet, which is so odd for us to have the Nintendo Switch 2 release date, to have the Donkey Kong release date, to have all these other release dates, but then for this to just still be slated for this year. I don't know, and I don't really care. I just want to make sure that we have enough time to buy this game, to buy the upgraded version. And as cool as it would be to have this game on launch, I think there are way too many games right now at launch for this game to have a chance to sell well. I think they need to space it out a little bit more. Donkey Kong in July, perhaps this is more of an October-September game, even an August game, especially considering the holiday rush will have a new Pokemon game, that new upgraded version of Pokemon. Then we'll probably also have some other big stuff as well. So holidays is probably the worst time for this game to come out. It should come out right before then, right when the system is probably starting to slow down a little bit, but then that already install base for both the Switch 1 and then the Switch 2 buyers can get that, and it's just going to be so beautiful. There's probably an argument to be made. This is already the best looking game on the Nintendo Switch, and Luigi's Mansion 3 is still it for me, but this game probably looks even better than that. Graphically speaking, they have done a beautiful job. Thank you once more for watching this video all the way to the very end. Make sure you like and subscribe it if you enjoyed. Click the notification bell to watch all of my other videos as they come out, and support my channel by joining my membership program to get early access to all of my videos. If you are a big fan of Metroid, watch the left side of the screen here, click on that to see my State of Metroid series, and click the right video to get a breakdown of all of the 5 new Zelda games we got from yesterday's Direct. My name is Ray, this has been Ray's Nintendo Talk, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a phenomenal day.